Today, I'm going to show you how to make soft frosted sugar cookies. Slightly sweet, pleasingly thick, and sturdy enough to hold up to decorating, these frosted sugar cookies are sure to become your new go-to. The dough is easy to make, roll, and cut, and the cookies keep their shape beautifully in the oven. The cookie's tender texture is due to a process of reverse creaming, which is a method I'll show you, and it's also used for making great cakes. And the frosting's subtle but irresistible tang is thanks to a smidge of cream cheese. Then finally, I'm going to try my hand at icing some of these beauties to make them a special year-end holiday treat. Christmas cookies, folks. Are you ready? Well, then let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is let's make the dough. You know how we begin. Dry ingredients first. In a large bowl, we're going to mix together the flour, confectioner's sugar, salt, baking powder, and baking soda. So we have 1.5 cups or 180 grams of flour. We have a 1/2 cup or 57 grams of confectioner's sugar. We have a 1/4 teaspoon of fine salt, 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/8 teaspoon of baking soda. Here we go. We'll give that a little swirl. So now that we have all of our dry ingredients mixed together, we're going to add 1 stick or 8 tablespoons, 113 grams of unsalted butter, cubed, about 1/2 inch cubes. 1 stick of very cold unsalted butter. This is about the same technique you would use if you were making pie dough and you're combining the butter with the flour. I keep a butter knife close at hand just to get this a little bit out of the blades. It all gets a little gummed up in there. And once we get the butter chopped, then what we'll do is we're going to work it to a fine texture with our fingers. But we'll get some more flour, get that butter coated really nice. So I think the best way to do this is just to get your hands into the mix. Just kind of like that. And you just sort of press the cubes of butter through the flour mixture, sort of breaks them up a little bit. We don't want real big chunks of butter in the dough, but we do want it well blended. Butter into the flour, just work it a little bit. We don't want to overwork it, and we don't want to melt all that butter with our hands. It gets a nice crumbly texture. So next we have separated our 1 large egg, and we set the egg white aside for the next step. But in this step we're going to take 1 yolk. We've added the egg yolk to our dry mixture, and we just want to stir until evenly combined. Here's our egg white of 1 large egg, to which we're going to add a tablespoon of milk. There we go. So what we want to do here is we're going to add 1 tablespoon of our milk and egg white mixture, just like that. And we'll continue stirring that until combined. And so finally we want to add 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract and mix the ingredients briefly until the larger clumps start to form. So 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Not the imitation stuff, pure vanilla extract, please. There it goes. Use your hands to bring the dough together into one mass. And then we are going to transfer this mass to our parchment paper. So now that our dough is formed into a nice cohesive mass, we're going to transfer the dough to the parchment paper. What we want to do is we want to cover the dough with a second piece of parchment paper, just like this. And we want to roll it out until it's about 1/2 inch thick. That's about a 1/2 inch thick. I'm going to transfer that onto a sheet pan, and we're going to chill in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. Remove the dough from the refrigerator and continue to roll it, still sandwiched between parchment or wax paper until it's a 1/4 inch thick. Use a light dusting of flour if necessary to prevent the dough from sticking to the paper or your rolling pin. Then cut out your desired cookie shapes and transfer them to a prepared baking sheet. Prepared baking sheet being one that's covered with parchment. This dough smells amazing. It looks amazing. Yeah, we can go a little thinner. Let's roll it a bit more. Roll them, roll them, roll them. Keep that dough a-rolling. There we go. Our first cutout. Here's our first cookie. It's a Christmas tree with a star on top. Let's see how we do. Let's remove the dough. That is not the cookie. And the cookie will be revealed. Here we have it. These are my very first ever cut-out Christmas cookies. I transferred them from the hot tray to a cool tray with a cooling rack. Look at those beautiful cookies. I had my doubts. Sometimes I do, but these look wonderful. There you go.
Yum, yum.
Just slightly brown around the edges and slightly brown on the bottoms. It's getting late in the evening. I may have to wait till tomorrow to frost them, but I think they'll wait for me. So now it's time to make the frosting. In a medium bowl, stir together all of the ingredients in the order listed, adding enough milk to make the glaze spreadable and smooth. It shouldn't be runny, and you can color as desired. So I'm doubling the recipe in case I need a little extra icing for some color piping design. So what we have here is 2 tablespoons of cream cheese, 2 2/3 cups of confectioner's sugar, pinch of salt, teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, and 2 to 4 tablespoons of milk. We add the milk just a little bit at a time. Is spread on the cooled cookie with an offset spatula or a dull knife. It's my first ever attempt at frosting a cookie. I don't even quite know where to begin. My first ever cut-out Christmas cookie. And here we have it. Frosted sugar cookies. So do me a favor, please be sure to click that thumbs up like button. Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future episodes. Thanks for watching.